Power your next move with up to 105% equity bank asset financing for Mercedes, Toyota, Isuzu, Scania, and Tata school buses. Enjoy a repayment period of up to 84 months and a 2-year free service of up to 25,000 kilometers for selected brands. Visit any Equity branch today to apply for asset financing. Equity Bank, Kenya's best bank in asset financing. Terms and conditions apply. Power your next move with up to 105% equity bank asset financing for Mercedes, Toyota, Isuzu, Scania, and Tata school buses. Enjoy a repayment period of up to 84 months and a 2-year free service of up to 25,000 kilometers for selected brands. Visit any Equity branch today to apply for asset financing. Equity Bank, Kenya's best bank in asset financing. Terms and conditions apply. Power your next move with up to 105% equity bank asset financing for Mercedes, Toyota, Isuzu, Scania, and Tata school buses. Enjoy a repayment period of up to 84 months and a 2-year free service of up to 25,000 kilometers for selected brands. Power your next any Equity branch today to apply for asset financing. Equity financing for Kenya's best bank, Toyota, asset financing, Isuzu, Scania, and Tata school buses. Enjoy best bank in asset financing. Terms and conditions apply. Power your next move with up to 105% equity bank asset financing for Mercedes, Toyota, Isuzu, Scania, and Tata school buses. Enjoy a repayment period of up to 84 months and a 2-year free
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and greetings this good morning. We welcome you to our second lesson from amongst our webinar series that the bank is hosting for the sake of our SME and our customers in the bank. We are pleased to meet you this very good morning. Once again, welcome. Let me take this opportunity to thank you and congratulate you for having made it to this meeting today. We are aware that you have competing needs as businessmen and women out there, but you have found it good that you sacrifice your good time to be with us in this journey, whereby we're going to look into marketing opportunities that exist in our respective businesses, how we can optimize and tap into the possibilities in support of the growth of our business. Once again, welcome to this noble journey we are going to take with you as partners in business. And to help us through this journey, with me, I have our speaker, Irene Wajiro Njoroge, who is going to take us into a marketing discourse. Irene Njoroge is a business support program coordinator with Equity Group Foundation. Also with us is Beatrice Nyambura, General Manager, Asset Finance with Equity Bank Kenya Limited. And with you, my name is Samuel Wambugu, also a program coordinator, business support services with Equity Group Foundation. Let's say, as an institution, we are very honored to have you on board. And to move us on, I would like us to have these very thoughtful questions as we sit and listen to our speaker do their presentation. I'd like us to explore the following questions. For example, in our businesses, are we even known in the streets that we operate? Do customers, existing and potential customers, know where we operate? Are we known even in the streets that we operate? Do customers and potential customers know where they can find us? Do our existing and potential customers know how they can access us? Do they know what value that they can get by doing business with us? Do they know the profile of products that on services that we sell to them? And the ultimate question is, when they sit back at home with a need to buy products and services, do they ever prefer, or when they are making these decisions, do they ever think in favor of our businesses? Or they think about other businesses? Those are the questions that I would like us to ask ourselves as we are taken through this wonderful topic today, mastering marketing for SMEs and strategies to boost our business visibility. Thank you very much and welcome. And this opportunity I want to give to our first speaker, Irene Njoroge, to say hi to the group. Irene, just say hi to our audience.
Good morning, our audience.
Thank you very much.
Great to
Thank
see
you
you.
very
Great
much.
to see you.
I know you'll tell us much. Beatrice Nyambura, you can also say hi to our audiences.
Good morning, our dear customers. Happy to be here and ready to interact. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And without any further delay, let's prepare ourselves and indulge ourselves in this wonderful topic. Irene, you're very much welcome to take over our audience in this wonderful journey. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Samuel, for that great introduction. And thank you, our audience, for joining us this early in the morning. It's good to be here, and I'm sure we'll be able to learn together and grow our businesses in the process. So we look forward to a very interactive time. Samuel, kindly confirm that you can see my screen as we move forward.
Yes, can see your screen, Irene.
Great. So, yes, as Samuel said, my name is Irene Njoroge, and I will be taking us through this session of mastering marketing for SMEs and looking at strategies to particularly enhance our business visibility and drive growth. So join me. Let us be ready to participate as we move forward. So just to go through a few housekeeping rules. We will be using the chat box a lot to interact. So please feel free to put in your questions there, and we'll be able to answer them as the session is going on. And we are encouraging all of us to do that so that we can have maximum participation. You can share your experiences, and you can also give your comments as the session moves on. So let's as we move in, let's look at our objectives. What do we want to achieve today? We've called you here. You've left your businesses to join us. and we are looking at what we want to achieve. So the first thing we want to do is understand the components of the marketing mix for enhanced business visibility. When you talk about marketing, there's the marketing mix. We'll be looking at that. We'll also look at how to identify the best tactics to improve your business visibility. And thirdly, we'll be enabling the participants yourselves to develop a simple marketing plan that will enhance your business visibility and definitely enhance your sales. As we start this session, let's look at a quote about visibility that says, visibility is not about being everywhere, it's about being where your target audience is and leaving a lasting impression. That was a quote stated by one Bernard Calvin Anderson, and I will read it again. Visibility is not about being everywhere, it's about being where your target audience is and leaving a lasting impression. And as we think about that quote, what I will be asking us to think is, are you where your target audience is, and do you leave a lasting impression while you're at it? And those are some of the things we'll be looking at as we move on. As we talk about visibility, there is a need to understand or to discuss marketing. What is marketing? And at this point, our dear audience, I want to ask us to go to the chat there in the, and answer this question in your own understanding. What is marketing? What do you think marketing is? And I will want to encourage us. There's no wrong or right answers. All answers are our opinions and they're valid. So kindly let us engage in the chat. Go to the chat box there and write your response on what is your understanding of marketing. And I am sure we'll be able to engage much. So I am looking at the chats, and yes, good morning. I've seen Dick Business is there. Our colleagues, Eric and Ida, are on standby as we answer this question, what is marketing? So please take some 30 seconds and our dear audience, kindly respond to that question. What do you think is marketing is? What is our understanding of marketing? Giving us a minute. I think we have 30 seconds gone, so that Ida, you can tell us what is there on the chat, and we can read out a few responses. Or in the interest of time, I can still go through some of them. I can see. Yeah, okay, continue, Ida.
Thank you, Irene, and thank you to our customers. I can see there's some responses here. Edwin says, good morning. Marketing is promoting and communicating the value of a product to meet customers' needs.
Right.
Someone else says marketing is basically communicating to our customers of what we offer in terms of producing services. We have more coming in. It's the art of creating awareness to the public on a certain product or service. Marketing is how a business connects with people to understand their needs and persuade them to choose them. So we have more coming in, but those are some of the responses that we have.
Thank you, Ida. Great responses there by our audience. Yes, all those aspects are key in marketing. And in addition to that, in addition to what has been shared, marketing is indeed any action that a business takes to convince prospective customers, to bring them on, to persuade them, and turn them into a happy and satisfied customer. Any action you're making to turn that prospective consumer into a happy customer can be termed as marketing. So all those answers you have given are very much on point. And the goal of marketing really is to convince a person that your product is worth investing in, and in the process, establish brand loyalty. Brand loyalty, reduce any aspect of buyer remorse. And definitely, when you have convinced somebody that your product is worth investing in, whether it's a product or a service, and they have invested in it, a certain loyalty is formed therein by the customers, and that leads to an increase in sales. And furthermore, as you talk about marketing, when you look at the concept of visibility, because yes, marketing, like we said, is any activity, any action that a business is taking to convince a customer. Now, in the context of marketing, visibility is the degree to which a company's brand, your business's brand, your products, your services are seen and recognized by consumers within a given market. And right here, I would ask us to introspect how much or how well are your products or services seen by the consumers you're targeting, the people that you want to sell to? How much, how well are they noticing your brand? And as we move on, we also want to ask ourselves, you've said, what is marketing? It's all the efforts you're putting to convince our customers to buy from us and become loyal. The question that that then comes in is, why marketing? Why should we do marketing? If we sit in our businesses and wait and we don't do marketing, what happens? And I want to allow me to engage our audience a bit again. Please go to the chat box once more. You have seen how empowering your answers are. And let's answer this question. Why do we do marketing? If we don't do marketing, then what happens? Why should we do marketing? Again, I will give us a quick minute to go into the chat box and give this response. Why should we do marketing? And either you will alert me as the responses are coming in. Why should we market? If we don't market, what happens? And I know our very active audience is already on the chat box giving responses. Either you can read the ones that have come in already as we progress.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Irene, and thank you for the responses that are coming in. I can see someone is saying to broaden our customer base. Jacob says to create awareness of our products and service. Someone else says, good morning, we do marketing to enable us meet our end goal of making sales. Marketing is essential in order. Thank you for those responses. We have more coming in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ida, and fantastic responses from our audience. And in addition to that, like I said, why do we do marketing? Marketing is the engine that drives awareness, sales, and customer relationships. That's the engine. If you're to look as a business that occur, that's what helps us to do that. It also enables businesses to connect with their target audience. When you see an advert, when you see you enter a shop that is well branded, there's a connection that comes in with the target audience that you have. And most importantly, marketing builds brand recognition. Gone are the days where you can silently sell and nobody knows you. To be able to scale and become that business that you have dreamt of, recognition must happen, and marketing is that engine that brings you to that place. It certainly increases sales revenues and definitely enables one to stay ahead of the competition. In addition to broadening customer reach, which has been pointed out by one of the participants, that yes, we want to stay ahead of the competition because in a world where competition is very aggressive, if you stay dormant, then definitely the competition may drive you out of market. And I know some of us have experienced that, which is what we are looking at how to avert. Now, when you talk about marketing, you cannot talk about marketing without looking at the marketing mix. And the marketing mix is basically a framework that helps businesses determine the most effective way to promote and sell your products. Just like every individual is different and every individual has a different purpose, that's the same thing with every business. You may look the same, you're selling similar products, but you're indeed different in terms of purpose and in terms of the target audience.
Hence, I think we have lost Irene. I think minute as probably she set up back to session. Just a minute.
Hello, I'm back. What is happening to me? Someone confirm Irene. Yes,
we're almost rescuing you. Thank you for coming back. Please take over. Thank you.
Yes, my apologies for that. I was talking about the 4 P's of marketing. There was a slight hitch where I am with power. I think we all know this beautiful country of ours, but we're back. So thank you very much. So I was talking about the 4 P's of marketing and saying that when you're talking about product, it is basically what you sell, what you're selling, the features that your product is having, the features that your product has that are designed to satisfy the customer wants and needs. What features are there? And in this case, I want us to use the example of if you're selling food products, you're selling a cup of tea. What goes into that product that is your cup of tea? For your designated customers. If you're looking for a cup of tea, for example, in a hotel like Java, I'm using Java because I want to imagine we all may have heard about Java House. The cup of tea you will get there may be different from a cup of tea from another place, depending again with the target audience of Java. So the price is basically the amount that a customer is paying to enjoy that product. So what money do I need to pay as a customer to enjoy a good cup of tea in Java, for example? And it is a critical element in any plan and in any business because it dictates survival. It dictates how much profit you're going to make. If you price too highly, you stand a chance of losing customers, especially if you're not targeting your customers correctly. Again, if you price too lowly, then you stand the risk of running a loss for your business. So this setting the price is a very sensitive matter, and making sure you also benchmark with the competition in your particular field. When you talk about the 3rd P, which is place concerns how your customers are getting your services or getting your products. It could be you have a physical shop. I know some of us have physical shops where customers will walk in and buy the goods. Or it could be you sell online, or you have a hybrid. So you sell physically and you sell online, which is preferred for today's marketplace. And then we're looking at promotion. Promotion basically is all communication activities that you use to create awareness and persuade customers to purchase your products. And on today's session, when you talk about visibility, we are standing on this 4th P of marketing, of promotion, to understand exactly how do we enhance visibility for our customers and to ensure that we are growing our businesses. So let's look closely at what strategies do we have for business visibility. And I'm sure you can see the image of a man with a binoculars trying to find something, which should tell us a few things. Are you that business that I can find, or do I need to look and find a binoculars to find you to get the products that you're selling? So the strategies for business visibility we're talking about, like I said, we are asking ourselves, to what extent is your business known and seen by your potential customers? And I'm sure all of us are asking ourselves that question. What extent is your business known and then seen by potential customers? Visibility is a bridge between your brand and your audience. Where do they cross to get to you? If they don't see you, then they cannot come and they cannot buy and they cannot become loyal. And another way to look about visibility is to ask yourself, in the crowded marketplace, your visibility is your key differentiator. Can you be found in the crowded marketplace? And we want to look at that. So why do we need to improve business visibility? We have talked about the 4 P's of marketing, and we've talked about promotion be a key element of the marketing mix, and and very critical to when it comes to the question of business visibility. So, my dear viewers, why do we need to improve business visibility? And once again, like I said, we are participating, we are interactive. Let's go to the chat box right there and answer some and give your views on this. Why should we improve business visibility? If we stay conserved, what happens? And I want to give us a quick minute to just give responses to this. Why do we need to improve business visibility? And I'm sure we are writing. I have seen, I have seen that we get busy. We are quite active in this. So either you will alert me once again as the responses are coming in. Why do we need to improve business visibility? So, Ida?
Thank you, Irene. We have some responses coming in. Someone to increase market reach. Colin says improved visibility increases our sales and income, to increase our customer base, to get more clients, to know of your existence and services.
Right.
Those are some of the responses that we have. To stand out among competitors. And maybe I can read a last one. To stand a chance amongst other business offering the same product and service.
Fantastic, fantastic. Very powerful comments there. And in addition to that, we are saying that we need to improve business visibility for increased profitability, to unlock new business opportunities. If you're not seen, then somebody cannot come and engage with you in any way. So visibility unlocks business opportunities, helps your business connect to the target market. Connection, and that is a key buzzword in today's world. Connection. Are people able to connect with you? Can they relate with you? And it's often said that people don't buy what you sell, they buy you. They buy your brand, they buy what you represent. And visibility is key, again, in increasing how well people know your brand. How well do they know you? And it enables us to grow the customer base. Of course, as they get to connect with you, you increase your customer base from where you are to where you want to go. If your customers cannot find you, then it's difficult for them to fall in love with your company or brand. I mean, it goes without saying. I want something you're selling. Where can I find you? And that is a key fundamental issue that we definitely have to answer. So when we have talked about what is, now we talk about then which visibility strategy can we use? There are 2 types of visibility strategies, and I know these are not new to all of us 100%. I'm sure we could have heard about some of them. The issue is, how do we come to bring them now into action in our businesses? So there are 2 strategies. One is online, and the other one is offline. And this adaptation of this will be determined by who you're targeting. So do you know your customers? And which kind of markets are you looking at? Are you targeting international or local customers? Are you looking at high-end or budget markets? That counts on the visibility strategies you will use, or better said, the mix, because there's a mix. or to get effective results, the mix of visibility studies you will use. So when you look at the online strategies here, we're talking about activities that are conducted online with web-based channels. Anything you do online, whether you are Generation X, Generation Z, millennials, you are Gen Z, the world is moving online. So where are you in that online space? So we're talking about here use of digital marketing services, and will be such as social media, email marketing, display advertising, search engine optimization. What are these? These are the online strategies that come in to enhance your visibility on that platform. Then we have the offline strategies, and these are activities that are conducted outside of the internet. What we would call the traditional promotional methods that have been used ever since, and they're still relevant in today's day and age. So there's a picture there showing a vast array of online visibility strategies. And in this, we're talking about everything you do online to make sure you have a strong online presence. So when you talk about this, one will refer to the social media marketing platforms, social media platforms. And examples of this could be Google My Business. I'm sure some of you have heard about this. Google My Business, where you create a Google My Business profile. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have YouTube, we have X, what was formerly Twitter, we have LinkedIn. There are others, we have websites, we have the search engine optimization, which is a full world of how to make sure when anybody's searching your name, it comes on top in search engine platforms. And then we have paid advertising, where you pay for ads, whether it's on any of these social media platforms, and so on and so forth. And particularly for this session, because we are limited in terms of time, we will be talking about, we'll narrow down to two of the online strategies. One is social media marketing. These ones that I have mentioned here, that is the Google My Business, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, YouTube, all these that I've mentioned here. And the question I'm asking, and I'm sure we are checking ourselves, which of these platforms are you using as of now? And how effective have you been using them? Because that determines the kind of results that you get at the end of the day. And I'll be looking at a simple way to make sure that you get maximum results as you use these social media platforms. And the first thing is know your target. Do you know your target audience? Who are they? What do they buy? Where do they buy? When do they buy? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. Do you know your target audience? Once you know your target audience, because that is the number one homework, are you clear about who you're targeting? There are times we have gone to empower businesses, to train businesses, or to mentor them. And when you ask somebody, who do you sell to? They tell you, I sell to everyone. When you tell me you sell to everyone, that tells me you're not very clear about who your target audience is. And that is, like I said, you need to answer those questions. Who do you sell to, when, and why even do they buy from you? Once you identify your target audience, then the next step is to create high quality, engaging content in several different formats. The content, because again, will be determined by which platform you are targeting. To achieve this, ask yourself, which markets does your product or service cater for? Which industry are you in? Because that determines the content that you will generate for your target audience. And then you will need to find out what is the most preferred social media platforms for your customers to use. Where are your customers? If, for example, you are selling, you're selling land, you are selling cars, the customers who you're looking for, where are they found when it comes to social media platforms? If you're selling jewelry, you'll be targeting younger audiences. So definitely you need to be on Instagram, for example. So that aspect is very key, because if you find yourself in a platform where your customers are not, then you will spend money on ads and ask yourself, why am I not selling? And it's because you are not where your customers are. Once you establish where your preferred customers go to, then position yourself there. And as you're positioning yourself, it means uploading content and keeping engagement active, responding to customers, and having prompt response. I think this is a need I need to emphasize, because in whatever platform you use, the key issue is engagement and timely updates. You're giving fresh content daily, weekly, and you have a strategy. You have a strategy based on what you're really selling, so that you post content that is active, that is updated, that is relevant to your target audience. And making sure that even if they ask questions, some questions may not be pleasant, you find a way to answer those questions in a timely manner, and in a manner that is respectable, and also pleasing to the customers. The second online strategy we want to look at is the website. Website is critical if you're going to have a strong online presence. And what does a good website look like? A good website should say a background story of your business. It should talk about where your customers should trust you and buy from you. In fact, I might need to say that nowadays, website has almost become a marker of authenticity for your business. If I meet you and you tell me about what you're selling, and I've never met you before, the next thing I will do is to go online and check, are you anywhere online? Because then now that gives some sort of authenticity about you. In your website, you can also display your events, your partners, associations. It all moves towards creating your credibility. It doesn't need to be an expensive website. It just needs to be catching, and it needs to be pleasant and have what people would want to find out from you. Now, moving on, let's look at some offline strategies. These are the strategies that you will use that necessarily you're not using you're not using internet or any web-based channels. One of which is branding. Branding is basically the face. Like, you can look at that picture there and you can see that branding gives a certain image or perspective about your shop. And with branding, we're talking about how you have arranged your business. If it's, for example, a walk-in, how is the movement arranged? Can I walk in well and come out? Or do I need to squeeze myself? When I look at your business, what is the first impression I get? Do I get an impression of order? Do I get an impression of neatness? Do I get an impression of many things? Depending again with your industry, if it's a hotel, I want to come in and get an impression of hygiene, number one, that this place is clean, it's well looked after, people are serious about their businesses, about taking care of their customers, and so on. And in branding, you can also consider things like staff uniforms, signages, and surface branding. It doesn't need to be expensive. It just needs to be creative to appeal to the customers that you're looking for, so that you may not need to have a very big budget, depending with the size of your business, to do branding, but you will need a lot of creativity. And some people go to the point of hiring interior designers, which is a good investment for you to stand out from the crowd. Again, when you talk about in the offline strategies, we're talking about industry-related events. This points to your capacity to network as a business owner. It's a very interconnected world. And we say that these days we're living in now are days of crisis in the economic world. And when it's a day for crisis, that's not the time to be alone, to be isolated. It's a time to come together. It's a time to make sure you're connected with someone else. So herein comes the importance of attending industry-related events. And how do you do this? You can host, or you can attend events to connect with new customers, influencers, and partners. And this all goes to increasing your business visibility. Is there a sales expo that is related in your industry? An exhibition, for example, where you could be there. And as you go into these industry-related events, what happens there? We have product demos, we have networking talks, and even press media coverage. The rule of thumb is in every quarter, you should attend at least one industry-related event. Be there, and when you're there, have a strategy, talk, be ready with your products. Make sure you are heard. That's the key thing. In industry-related events, be in some networks. If you're not in any, then it's about time that that goal is set and achieved accordingly. Moving on, another offline strategy is speaking opportunities. I know people say that the greatest fear of men is to speak in front of others, but we are all determined to grow our businesses. So we should actually even be looking for speaking opportunities. And when we talk about speaking opportunities here, we are saying consider becoming a speaker on a business-related topic for enhanced visibility. Do not shy away. You are invited. Come and talk to us about education products. Maybe you sell insurance, or you sell, you are in that industry. Come out and do that, because this positions you as a thought leader in the presence of qualified audience ready to learn from you. You're selling vehicles, and you have gotten an opportunity to discuss how two vehicles are performing against each other. Or you're in the building and construction industry, you have been told, come and tell us, should I put a slab or should I do a roof? I'm just giving an example. If, for example, you're in that industry. The minute you go there, you position yourself as a thought leader. And in this manner, you are likely to tap into a group of new customers you have never known, and which will now view you as an authority. And I would encourage us, either you can organize an event or make sure you're invited for one, go there ready, speak on your topic, and that way you are identified as an authority, and it is a good opportunity for visibility. Another strategy we have is cross-promotional partnerships. What are these? This is when you consider working with other brands you relate to in terms of shared or similar business values, or model to co-develop products or co-sponsor events or promotions. Sometimes sponsoring an event can be costly, but when you collaborate with someone else, you collaborate with another business, you find that it is possible to do it in a cost-effective manner, and you'll still achieve the objectives you have at hand. And in this, you're talking about be proactive in developing partnerships and promotional activities with businesses pointing to similar mission as you, to a same mission, and same value system, for example, to help your brand stand out. So this is another third offline strategy. Last but not least, when it comes again to offline strategies, community engagements. Community engagements would be what we call corporate social responsibility, what you give back to the community that you are serving, the society where you're selling to. And what it does, it positions you, or puts you in a place to be a responsible business overall, to get your name out there. And the community sees you now as somebody or a business that gives back and not just takes. So there are many initiatives, again, depending with your field, depending with your target audience, that you can participate in, or you can even organize entirely, depending again with your business, with your enterprise, or you can come together as a number of businesses and do a community engagement. And when you do a community engagement, like I said, the perception that is created is that you're a business that cares. You're a business that values the community. And when people feel valued, then that has a way of enhancing their loyalty to your business. And think about it. It could be, a tree planting initiative. It could be there are people who come together and give sanitary pads to girls in girls' schools. You could be visiting a certain children's home or a home for the elderly. The initiatives are as many as you can find them if you look for them. So, and in this also we'll be talking about, you can, like I said, you can sponsor or volunteer using your business or company resources for community good. You can also join other organizations that do community work. And I know that will go a long way in enhancing your business visibility. As we draw nearer the end of this presentation, let me just go over some points to just summarize what we have said, some nuggets that we have said that you should be able to take home as we conclude. One, visibility is not about being everywhere. It's about being where your target audience is and leaving a lasting impression. We don't sell to everybody, we sell to our target audience. And that is key for all of us to remember. Marketing is an engine that drives awareness, sales, and customer relationships. So if you're not doing marketing, then you're driving a vehicle that has a very small engine or no engine. It's important that you engage, you put a budget aside and engage in marketing. Put a budget aside, because it will never fail us. Like I said, big companies, invest a lot in marketing. Like if I was to mention a company like Coke, which you all know, their products we all know, but then they spend a lot of money on marketing. I think in 2024 alone, within the first 4 months of 2024, they had spent $41 million on marketing. And imagine this is a product we know. So how much more any upcoming or business that is not as well known, just as an example. And then we also say the components of the marketing mix, the 4 Ps. We have the product, the price, place, and promotion. And they have to work together to give you the ideal or the best, most effective marketing plan for you to work with. And then we also did say that business visibility is the extent to which your business is known and seen by your potential customers, and there are 2 strategies for visibility, online and offline. And the choice of the visibility strategy to use depends on your target audience and the platforms they prefer or the platforms that they are on. So finally, it's important that after all these things that we have said, we have some action points. And when we talk about action points, we are saying, what are our action points moving forward? What are you going to do with the information you have received today to better your business, to change the way you do things in terms of marketing? And in this, when you're talking about an action point, you just need to have a simple table like the one I have presented here that answers 4 fundamental questions: what, how, who, and when. So what are you going to do differently within the next 2 months? And I normally say it's good to write these things down. I know we are busy. Some of us in our businesses, we do everything. You're the accountant, you're the marketer, you are the supplier, you're all those. Some of us have systems, which is good. But all in all, what we're asking is, at the end of the day, when you write it down, then it is able to be done. What gets measured gets done. So in this, I would encourage us to come up with a simple action plan like this one. What will you do? How will you do it? Who will you do it? Which other people will you assign responsibility to put up these strategies and ensure that they are done until they achieve results? And when will you do it? My encouragement is, let's not take too long to act. Like somebody said, all our problems can be solved by just doing what we said we will do. What you said you will do the beginning of the week up until now, how much have you done it? Especially in the context of business. So let's have this action point in place. If we had time, I would even say, let's share it more. But in the interest of time, let's move to this section of Q&A. And I will ask us to type in our questions on the chat. What questions might we be having? What concerns that we can address within this forum? Would be glad to do so. And make sure that we are moving together, because our key objective is to stand alongside you as you build strong businesses and as you drive your growth. So Ida, you can check with me on the chat. Do we have any questions? I can also try to see. You can check if we have any questions or comments or concerns. We would be glad to respond to you. And yes, Ida. Any questions? And I think the questions can be going on even as we move on to our next presenter. We'll be able to respond to them as we continue with the meeting. Otherwise, allow me to hand the meeting to our moderator, Samuel, to guide us for the next step. Thank you for your attention. Back to you, Samuel.
Thank you very much, Irene, for those marketing snippets. We have learned so much. And I think our customers and audience have really reflected on what they have been doing. There has been any activity in the marketing area and what they need to do more in order to improve visibility of their businesses wherever they are to their prospective customers. And without much ado, let's welcome our next speaker, Beatrice. Beatrice, you're welcome. Tell us also what you have for us today. This good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Samuel, and good morning, our dear customers. Samuel, kindly confirm that you can hear me and that you can also see my screen.
Yes, good morning, Beatrice. I can well hear you and I can also see your screen. Thank you.
Fantastic. I'm excited this morning to be here. We've had a very exciting session with Irene taking us through marketing and how to position our businesses just so that we stand out in whatever we do. I will quickly get into our next session where we get to look at asset finance, a product that we offer in the bank, a solution that we've been able to position for our dear customers and customers who are, of course, potential to join Equity Bank. So, as indicated, my name is Beatrice Nyambura, and I am the General Manager, Asset Finance in Kenya, supporting our dear customers with our proposition on asset finance. And I'll be able to take you through what we have in asset finance and some of the partnerships that we've been able to get into just to be able to serve you better and by extension be able to serve your customers. I will start by asking what exactly is asset finance, because there is a lot of misconception out there in terms of what asset finance is. And when you think of asset finance, they will be ordinarily be talking about land. Other people will say, I want to buy a house. But for purposes of asset finance, we basically limit ourselves to movable assets. And by movable assets, I mean motor vehicles, I mean plant and machinery, I mean computers, printers, and all those assets that are used in business just to support us in the processing of our businesses, critical assets that are necessary for us to be able to conduct our business in a profitable manner. And those assets ordinarily would be identifiable either through a logbook or a serial number. And as you're aware, most of our motor vehicles and even motorbikes have title documents, which are the logbooks. And then in the scenarios of plants and machineries, then you would have serial numbers. And those assets are, again, tangible, and then they are self-securing. You will notice that in business, and in a typical business, we have competing needs for the business, and by that I mean we have needs for working capital, we'll have needs for other needs like for marketing and all that, and therefore it's very critical that as we engage in matters asset finance, that we get to place that particular need where it befits, and that is in asset finance, because asset finance is self-securing, meaning that when you get into an arrangement for asset finance, then no extra security is required. And as such, the same asset that the bank is financing is used as a security. The motor vehicle that we'll be financing, we'll use it as security. The machine that we are financing, we'll use it as security. We have, of course, the major dealers that in and around the country, and for Equity Bank, we also are in the region, and we have all these dealers that we have been able to partner with, just to be able to give very compelling propositions that benefit the customer, and some of them, as I can mention, would be CFAO Mobility, where we have the Toyota vehicles, the Hilux, the Hiace, we have the Mercedes-Benz, we have the Isuzu with their whole range of D-Max and the FRR, the FVZs. We have Simba Corporation with Fuso, we have Tata, and all the others. And then, of course, we have the yards, the pre-owned yards that are very dear to us, because I know for most of us, when we want to purchase a vehicle, that is where we start. We go to the yards on Kiambu Road, Limuru Road, we have a Gong Road, and all those roads that we have, all these yards where we get our vehicles for personal use. So As I progress, then I would want us to just pick a few of the partnerships that we have engaged in as a bank to be able to serve you better. And of course, by extension, having that partnership with some of the motor vehicle dealers, it means they also come in to support you with some of their services. And the first one we'll be looking at is the school bus financing. This is something that has been launched not so long ago in the course of the month of August. And we have had a lot of interaction with a number of our schools and potential schools just to be able to serve you. And we for the school bus financing, we are saying that we will be financing you 105%, which essentially means that we support you to purchase the whole unit, the bus, and if there's any conversion in terms of the installations of seats, then we are able to do that. And then over and above that, we are also able to support you on the insurance element in it and any other cost that is affiliated with the ownership of that bus. Then to support you in the terms of the repayment, because we know that the cost of these units have gone up over time because of the issues on FX and of course the cost of production. We have extended that tenor to 84 months just to be able to make sure that those repayments are manageable within the cash flows that we generate in our schools. Again, we are cognizant of the fact that schools are structured in a timely manner, and therefore we are able to schedule these repayments to come through to the bank every term. You are not required to pay every month. You're required to pay as a student on board, and that's at the beginning of the term, and therefore we are able to match that for you just to make the repayments very manageable. Again, through the partnerships, as you can see, we have partnerships with all those motor vehicle dealers, that is Toyota, Mercedes, Isuzu, Scania, and others, Tata, then the Fuso bus from Simba. With all that, they are able to give free service for up to 2 years, and this kind of engagement then allows you to enjoy the bus for the first 5 years without any issues. And remember, the purpose of all this is just to ensure that our students are comfortable. We don't have any breakdowns. If you're the owner of the school, then you don't have issues regarding breakdowns and, of course, the calls that would ordinarily come at the wee hours of the morning as the students are being picked and the bus has broken down. And this service or this product is available to all our institutions, the schools and other tertiary institutions that are accredited by the Ministry of Education. Moving from school buses, at Equity Bank, we value the production of food and other agricultural inputs and outputs. And for that, we have made effort to ensure that we are playing in this and supporting the farmers and the players within the agricultural value chains, and we have different value chains. It could be in tea, coffee, we are in crop, we are in livestock and all that. And by being in partnerships with some of the motor vehicle dealers, we've been able to coin in very good financing arrangements with, for instance, what I have highlighted there for tractors. We are able to do up to 95% financing and extending the tenor of that loan up to 60 months, again, to make it very manageable. Then through partnerships with the original equipment manufacturers, we are able now to again come in to support on the service for that particular unit, where they're able to come to the farm in case of any issues and support that. And some of these engagements have also, we've also been able to we've managed to negotiate to have insurance paid on behalf of the farmer or the contractor who is taking up the tractors for a period of 1 year, meaning then you start paying for your own insurance from the second year, making it very manageable for your business. Over and above, of course, the tractors, then we would also be looking at other value chains. If you're in irrigation, we are able to come in to support you with the setup of the pivots and of course the acquiring of the pivots. If you're in leather, the whole value chain in leather. If you want to set up a tannery, if you want to set up slaughterhouses, then Equity Bank is the right partner. And what I can confirm for you, our dear customer, is that whatever need you have, we are able to come into your business, into your farm, just to see what is your need. And even if it's something we've not highlighted here, we are able to solution you accordingly, just to support you in your business. Then, as we do all that production, and this is, I would say, this is where we play biggest, not just as an Equity Bank, but also as a country. We have a lot of movement of goods in and around industries and farms, and we've partnered again with motor vehicle dealers to be able to give you very compelling financing terms for commercial vehicles, and this would be the pickups, the single cab pickups, the double cab pickups. We have the light trucks, we have the heavy trucks, where we are able to finance you up to 100% financing, and extending the tenor again just to be able to accommodate the repayments to a period of 72 months. And because we are cognizant of the fact that some of these engagements also require you to have been set up and have other competing needs, we are able to give you a moratorium of up to 90 days, depending on the type of business you're doing, allowing you time to just basically kick off in your business. Then you start paying the bank after 90 days. Then we are also cognizant of the fact that when you're in commercial business, working capital is also a need that is real to us. So with every of this approval, we are extending a working capital of 1 million just to be able to take care of some of the emerging needs that are around owning and maintaining these vehicles. And this would be, for instance, labor that you need to pay for packers. It could be for fuel. It could be for repair of tires. It could be any of those needs. And we are able to give you that 1 million working capital, which you can utilize for the entire tenure of that facility. And in this section, we've partnered with the major dealers in the country, and we have CFAO again there. We have Isuzu, Mitsubishi, Toyota. We have Ford. We have all those original equipment manufacturers that deal with this type of trucks. We have Tata and Ashok and all that. Basically, just go to a dealer, pick my invoice, and we'll be able to finance you. Then we move on to our private vehicles. In this area, here we are dealing with vehicles meant for personal use. We even as we do our businesses, and of course we have the need for a pickup and a truck, we always have need to move as ourselves and our staff in and around our businesses, and even to do very basic parcel movements between our businesses. And in that category, then we will be looking at the private vehicles, and the private vehicles will be number one, looking at the showroom vehicles, and those are zero mileage vehicles, where we are saying we'll finance you up to 100% financed, and then extend the tenor to 5 years. Then we have the other category of private vehicles. Those are vehicles that are have been pre-owned. We no longer call them used vehicles. We have given them a very good name, called pre-owned, meaning that they were at some point owned by somebody. And these are the vehicles which ordinarily would come from Japan. We have other vehicles coming from Thailand, Dubai, and other source markets. For those ones, we are able to finance you up to 90%, and again, extend the tenor to 5 years just to accommodate the repayments. This unit because of the ease of doing business and because of the ease of just because it just requires you to, for instance, give us payslips. The turnaround time is pretty quick on that, and the decision would ordinarily be made at a branch. So I would urge that when you have a request for a personal vehicle, just walk into any of our branches and they'll be able to attend to you, and you'll have feedback possibly within the course of the same day, because those decisions are actually made within the branch. Here we'll be looking at the whole range of personal vehicles that we know of. I think the number one we have on the road is, of course, the Toyota, and the entire range of the Toyotas. We have the Mitsubishis, the Subarus, we have the high range ones. We'll be talking of BMW, we'll be talking of Mercedes. All that is being financed at Equity Bank. Then we have another category of assets, and those are assets that are, I would call them very specific to certain needs. And I would use an example of a medical equipment. So then here we are talking about a hospital or a doctor or a clinic. They would be requiring probably an MRI. They would need a dentist chair. Again, by extension, you go into the construction industry. We'll be looking at the yellow machines with the excavators, the rollers, and all that. We are able to finance that at Equity Bank just to support you in the operations of your business, where we're saying come in with your 20%, we'll be able to finance you 80%, and we will have that loan paying in 6 years. Again, in this area, we've also come into partnerships with a number of OEMs, and some of them even more compelling, like Mantrack, where we are saying we will do 100% financing for 72 months, and the others again, they have their special arrangements. But this is a call to us to basically just get a pro forma from any of the dealerships and walk into any of Equity branch, and we'll be able to support you because we are keen to have your business going. Dear customers, I have highlighted just a few of our products. We have the whole range. I can confirm that whatever equipment, whatever asset you have in mind, we have a way to work around it just to ensure that you acquire it and that we get your business moving in terms of its operations and making money, which is what we are here for. So how do you apply? We most recently launched a self-onboarding platform where you're able to go into your Equity app. And again, you can also do that from the website that I have provided there, and you're able to lodge your application from there, and you will be able to receive it from our bank, from the side of the bank, and of course provide feedback and do that engagement. Should you require to provide more documentation, we'll be able to do that, and basically that cuts the turnaround time for the customers who are able. Currently, we are able to do that for our own customers through the app and then through the website, and and progressively we'll be able to do that even for customers who are not Equity customers. But for customers who are also not Equity customers, we have over 220 branches in Kenya. I urge you to walk into any of our branches which are well branded and in very prime areas, and ask to talk to a business relationship manager, and they'll be able to work with you through the journey for asset finance, and we'll be able to support you on that. Thank you very much. I will take any question, concern, and most importantly, this is a welcome to Equity Bank. Take advantage of all these partnerships that we have with motor vehicle dealers, and you'll be able to be served in any of our branches. Thank you very much, and have a good day. I'll take this back to Samuel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Beatrice, for that insightful presentation. Yes, as business people, customers, I know We have had challenges with capitation. We've been able to engage into serious marketing engagements, either branding or whichever, because of the amount of money that goes into doing this exercise. While we have the need to support our businesses via necessary assets that we need to buy. Thank you, Beatrice, because you have offered a shoulder to lean on. Yes, as business people, let's look forward to doing what we need to do without now this fear of how much it needs to go into the machinery. I think the bank has a solution as it has well been presented. Thank you very, very much, Beatrice, for that. Now, as we come to the end of our presentation, let me say that we have discussed about 2 strategies for visibility enhancement. One is online and another one is offline. For the online strategy, which has got to do with social media and the website and other tools, online tools, our next webinar that will be taking place in the month of September, that is next month, will be purely taking us into a technological journey whereby we shall be indulging in how to digitize our businesses for more customer reach and how to leverage on technology to be able to reach more of our customers and enhance our business productivity. So, dear customers, this is a welcome and an invitation for you and your friends, wherever they are, if you have, to join us next month. The invitation will come similarly as it has happened this time around, to join us next month for that explosive session on digitizing our business. As it has been mentioned, we need to outgo and reach more and more of our customers technologically. So we need to know how do we go about this. So wishing you all the best in your endeavors as you carry on with your businesses, and hoping that we shall meet in September to further deliberate more on how we can leverage on technology. Thank you very much on behalf of the team, the technical bench behind the scene, those answering questions and answers. Thank you so very much. Our presenters, thank you very much. And also our dear customers, we highly appreciate for your presence and your time. And without further much delay, I call upon this meeting, I declare this meeting closed, and all attendees can disperse at their own time, as you wish. Thank you so very much. From me, Samuel Wambogo, your host. Bye-bye.
Excuse me, Samuel.
Yes, Lydia.
On the screen, on the chat.
Ida, do we have anything that is pending on the chat that we can be able to reflect on as we wind up?
We have Q&A on the chats. We can have the chat team bring them to our attention before we close the meeting, please.
Yes. Thank you, Samuel, and thank you, Lydia. There is a question for Nyambura. I think she should be able to answer, where somebody is asking, do I need an initial deposit to get a machine through asset financing? And can one acquire a machine as a group? It's addressed to Beatrice. Maybe Beatrice, if you're still there, you can respond quickly to this question. Do I need an initial deposit to get a machine through asset financing? And can one acquire a machine as a group?
Yes, thank you. I can take up that question. Do you need a deposit to acquire a machine? Yes, we will need depending on the arrangement you have with the dealer, maybe the question I would ask the person who had asked that question, where are they planning to get it? Because if it's a dealer that we already have an arrangement with, we will have maybe you contributing 10% or 20%, and then we finance the difference. Are you able to acquire that as a group? Yes. Under Equity Bank, we have a group model of lending where we are able to come together and get a machine through the groups. And for that, we would, of course, recommend that you talk to our Pamoja Banking RMs in the branch, and they will be able to take you through the journey of acquiring that machine. So the confirmation is yes. Thank you.
There is also a question, Beatrice from Hiram Minor. He's asking, why does it take long to get a copy of logbook after joint registration? Please give insight to that.
Could you kindly repeat the question?
Yes, he's asking, why does it take long to get a copy of logbook after joint registration?
All right, thanks. Thanks for that question. The flow of perfection for asset finance is that after joint registration, then the bank is the one that collects the logbook, and the logbook is required by the bank. So ordinarily that would not affect you acquiring the assets, because once we have confirmed through the NTSA portal that joint registration has happened, we are able to release that vehicle to you. And then the bank is left at the backside sorting out with the NTSA. Maybe the question then would be at the point of discharge, assuming that you've already paid your facility and now you want to have back your logbook. At that point, then you need to come to the bank. We do the discharge, and then with that discharge, you're able to collect your logbook from NTSA. Thank you.
Faith Jerotich is asking, can I get asset financing even though I don't have an account with Equity?
Absolutely, yes. You don't need to be our customer. Actually, we need you to come to join us at Equity Bank. Just walk into our bank with your statement from the banker you are currently with, 6-month statements, and we'll be able to process for you that asset finance under the same terms that we have negotiated with the dealers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Beatrice. I think we've exhausted the questions. And thank you also, customers, for your good questions. And I think Beatrice has done you a good job to answer these questions. Thank you so very much. I can't see anything else coming up unless anything that I've missed out. My technical bench team. And if not, it is thank you to everybody and for the participation. Asante sana. Bye-bye.